It's a new winning streak. It's a brand new week. Chris Appreciation Week in the books, and now we head to the home stretch. Whenever you hear that MVP chant, you already know what's the deal. It's the most valuable podcast in the world. It's the Hitmen Podcast, episode 78. Chris checking in. My partner, 313MG. What's the deal, bro? How you feeling?
Good, man. Good. Can't complain.
Damn right. Glad you pulled up on me with this week, bro. What was the weekend looking like in the D?
Chilling, man. Hit the zoo. Soaked up a little sun. You know. Hey, man. Had to see the Tigers, man.
Shout out to the Central.
You already know.
Shout out to the Central. We're going to get off into that a little bit, too. Yankees got their ass beat the other night. You feel me?
To this day.
Y'all can't come to the South Side talking greasy. You feel me? So you went to the zoo. You caught some playoff action. You caught some of the games.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, not everybody showed up. But, you know, we caught it.
I feel you. I just got some new news.
We caught it all.
I just got some news. I might be upgrading some equipment. That Rogue got some decent shit coming out to turn the podcast all the way up. But that's just some nerdy shit. I ain't going to bore y'all with none of that, bro. I was telling you off the air, man, I lost damn near a grip right before we got started on WNBA. I actually got the Aces and the Sparks playing in the background right now as we recording. We just got through watching Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals with Boston and Miami. But we're gonna get off into it in a minute, man. But I had a bad beat this weekend, but I'm gonna get back to it this week. I gotta stay down. You feel me? Stay down till you come up. Before we get off into these trash ass whoopings that was going on over the weekend, we gotta get rid of this red tape. Want to let y'all know that we everywhere that podcasts live, man. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Shout out to the sponsor, Anchor. You dig what I'm saying? All of that. Y'all can catch us everywhere. The YouTube is up right now. Check it out. Type in the Hitmen Podcast. Inject this yellow type into your veins. You feel me? Make sure y'all tap in with us in the mailbag. We need the kick pics. We need the questions. We need the comments. We need all of that. The Hitmen Podcast at gmail.com. And can't forget about the socials. On Instagram, it's at Hitmen Podcast. At Labeled and Known. On Twitter, it's at Labeled and Known, at Hitmen Podcast, and at Virtuoso Sports for my dog MG.
Straight up.
With no further ado, let's get off into the show. Y'all know how we started each and every week.
Woo bop the bam.
Speaking of Bams, god damn, Bam. God damn, Bam. You want to take it? You want to take it there, or what's up? How you want to do it, bro?
I mean, I'm at that point with him.
6 rebounds ain't gonna cut it when you screaming and squawking that you're supposed to be the defensive player of the year, man. Especially when you coming up with all these crazy ass turnovers. Especially when Victor Oladipo scored more than the starters on the game tonight. On the Heat at all. They got their ass whooped by 20. The Boston Celtics get up off the floor, beat the Heat at the crib in game 4, 102-82. Jason Tatum coming off of a bad game last week, or the other day, sorry, not last week. 50% from the field, 31 points, along with 8 rebounds and 5 assists. Al Horford had 4 blocks, including that big one at the end, but the Heat just not looking good at all tonight, big dog. What's the word?
Look, man, I don't know where Bam energy going because it showing to the scoring end, so man, I don't know where the rebounds is at either. Like, look, man, this is, and I'm going to say this now. We still got 3 more games, but as is right now, if this continues, this is the worst Eastern Conference Finals of all time.
I was getting ready to book my flight, especially the other day. Like, man, the Heat, they set a Eastern Conference playoff record with 19 steals. Tatum was looking crazy, looking like Cinderella at midnight with the glass slipper. I'm like, shit, this is a really crazy back-and-forth series. And the biggest takeaway from it was, goddamn, Golden State is about to win the NBA championship. You feel me?
Yeah, I wouldn't even call this back and forth. Like, it's literally each game, one team has just decided not to show up.
Bro, do anybody want to win?
Like in each game, one of the teams.
Does anybody make real shit anymore? Like, what's going on?
Bro, it is awful to watch. Literally, you sit down like, all right, man, Eastern Conference Finals, man, let's check this out.
Word.
One team ain't even walk in the locker room at this point. It's just every other game. If it's and I mean, on top of that, Boston barely showed up tonight. Like,
on top of the fact that they didn't have their starters. Robert Williams barely got in the game. Marcus Smart didn't play after that crazy sequence the other night in Game 3. Had a serious ankle sprain, left and came back. Jason Tatum had a shoulder contusion, left and came back. They both was trying to out Paul Pierce each other. You feel me?
Man, look, I ain't giving Boston no credit for this win. They came out, did what they did in the first quarter, but they were trash tonight too. The only reason they won is because the other team on the other side of the court just happened to be even more trash.
Jason Tatum is leading all NBA players in the playoffs with 60 turnovers this postseason. 60.
Oh, he reckless with it. He reckless with it, especially Game 3, boy. Hey, man, look, that man was giving out passes to the other team like the ice cream man.
Yo, can we fast forward to June?
That boy reckless.
What's up? Is it even worth it anymore? Like, what's going on, dog?
I mean, look, at this point, I'm saying it now. No matter who wins this series, Golden State in 6.
In 6, I might say 5. Hell, shit.
I'm calling it now.
We might as well skip right to that one. I don't know what the fuck is going on this side of the street.
I'm saying 6 to be nice. Because first of all, neither one of these teams is about to make it out of this. But neither one of these teams is making it out of this series with their full roster healthy. So we already know that for sure.
Well, let's talk about the Western Conference.
And then on top of it, both teams disappear. So
let's talk about it. First and foremost, a Slovenian man was murdered on live television last night. I don't know if you caught it, but Andrew Wiggins hit Luka in the back of the head with a sledgehammer, and they had the nerve to try to call it an offensive foul.
I knew he was gonna take off, but you know how sometimes Wiggins get mid-air and then he try to do the strong two-handed layup or whatever. Because if once he go left and he get into the middle of the floor, it's like, yeah, he about to take off, and then he took off, and I'm like, man.
And Luka tried his best. He tried his best Flopparachi impression, but it wasn't happening, man.
Bro, how you flop mid-air, bro? Come on, dog.
Let's talk about the game though for a second. Golden State and Dallas, neither one of them were doing the greatest in the first half. Golden State went 4 for 18 from 3. Dallas was 6 from 25 from 3 in the first half. Only 7 assists for the Warriors. And then they hit the nitrous button, and that was all she wrote on that game. You feel me?
Foot on the gas. And I mean, this goes back to what I said before the series started, man. Guarding Phoenix and guarding Utah, two teams that like to play slow and give your defense a chance to set up, is completely different than guarding the Warriors, who are in constant motion and get out in transition. Yeah, like I said, this was probably the worst matchup for Dallas.
Steph Curry went 50% from the field, 50% from 3, 100% from the free throw line, 31 points, 11 assists. Just destroyed him, man. Wiggins finally got that confidence, got that battery in his back. Gave him 27 and 11, including that dunk. That, I don't know. For all year long, it's been Ja with the dunks of the year, but that shit might have been that might have been it, bro. That might have been the dunk.
That's Wiggins number 2, though. Remember, he caught Brandon Clark in the playoffs with the two-handed joint down the middle. So Wiggins, he might have a third one that I'm forgetting in the Denver series, but that's like his second or third body, though.
Check it out. The Warriors, we probably in all the way 100% agreement. The Warriors went to the championship, right?
Oh, I've been saying it.
So Wiggins is gonna get a ring, right? If you Anthony Bennett, how do you feel,
buddy?
How do you feel a month and a half from now, knowing that all of the modern age number 1 picks from Cleveland got a ring except for you?
Man, I didn't even think about
Kyrie, Bron all got rings except for you, dog. Damn,
I didn't even think about that. Damn, bro.
Something to think about, big dog.
Hey, man, I know KD probably over there chilling, watching all of this unfold, realizing that Steph is destroying his legacy with each win that we get to here.
I feel like this championship, I hate like hedging my bet, but I mean it's kind of like a foregone conclusion. This championship feel real like Kobe 09 without Shaq. Like, for Steph, I mean. I finally get a chance to do this. I already been the man, but I finally get to do this without somebody hanging KD over my head, hanging Eagle Dollar over my head, hanging, you feel me, like the super team theory over my head.
Iggy shouldn't have won that Finals MVP.
I had an argument with my brother about that earlier today. He said he got robbed. I'm like, man,
what did he do? Hold LeBron to 40? What did he do? Hold LeBron to 40 a game? Great job, Iguodala. Great job.
But that actually leads into my question for you. Do you think Steph needs the Finals MVP? Does he have to get this one?
For public perception, yeah.
Not for legacy.
I already think he got robbed of. That's what I mean, perception. That's part of his legacy. For me, no, because I still believe he should have won the one in 2015. And
where you
could
can
debate
bundle
one of those
home
ones
and
where
auto
KD belongs
insurance.
to him.
Right, Frank?
Save 25.
What the? My fault. What was you saying, Big Dog?
No, I was saying, for the public, sure he needs it, but for me, he don't, because 2015 he should have won it. I said it at the time, and I stand on it now. Iggy shouldn't have won that shit.
Got you.
He held LeBron to 40 points, and Steph averaged 28. Steph had a game and 1.5 bad games, and it killed it for him. Like, he still averaged 28 on efficient shooting. Like, the fuck else? And he was like averaging like 9 boards or some shit. Like, what the fuck else you want the dude to do? Like, and then you could make a debate that that second title with KD, the one that everybody knows where KD hit the half court shot before halftime over, versus LeBron or whatever. I still think you could debate Steph winning that one, because Steph was the better player than KD in like 2 or 3 of those games.
Word.
So I still think that one is a debatable one too. So I mean, for me, he don't need to win that shit, but for public perception, in terms of how people gonna judge him and his resume, yeah. But for me, I already think he should have 1 or 2.
So I'm torn. I agree with you, but I agree with you in terms of saying that he probably should have had 1 or 2 by now. At the same time, I feel like he got to get it. You know what I'm saying? He needs to get it. And I think that they need to make it a point. I think they need to make it a statement that he gets it. He needs to be the focal point of the offense. He needs to be the mainstay when it comes to every night. Like, his effort is what carried them. It's gonna take a full effort from everybody, obviously. But I think that he needs to be the spearhead. He needs to be the tip of the spear when it comes to that. And I think it's gonna work out in his favor anyway. When we talking about legacy for Steph, this is his 6th. If they beat the Mavericks, if they sweep the Mavericks probably got one last shot to get up off the ground, but I don't think that they're gonna win.
Nah, not with the way Luka was talking after the game. Luka already sounded like it's over.
And he gave you 40 and 11 for what it's worth. I think that he knows, like, he can probably put up a good effort, but we all know what's about to happen. In terms of just looking, predicting the future or looking forward, this is Steph's 6th finals, right?
This will be number 6. Yeah. Wait. Will it be 6?
Yeah, he got 3
or
rings.
5.
He got 3 rings.
Oh yeah,
lost to Rondo,
yep.
Lost to LeBron in 16. So this will essentially be his 6th one. There's some of the best players in the multiverse, in the galaxy, that haven't been to 6, let alone have a chance to win 4 out of 6. Kobe went 7? He got 5 out of 7. Magic went 5 out of 9, right? LeBron got 4 out of shit. Was it 10?
LeBron got 4 out of 10 or 4 out of 9. It's 10, I think.
Crazy stat I looked up the other day. As if Mike wasn't already the greatest. It's just an overlooked thing. Mike is undefeated in championships, not just the finals, in championships. He won the national championship. He won 2 gold medals. He won the FIBA championship, and he was 6-0 in the finals.
Yeah.
So in the pantheon,
and on top of that, I think it's like a short list. I can't remember if it was 13 or 20. I mean, that's a big gap, but it's like only 13 or 20 players in NBA history who have won college, NBA, and Olympic championships. Right. Yeah. And there's only a couple who've done there's only 3 who, if you include high school, there's only 3 who've done all 4 levels. But it's a very unique class to be a part of.
In the midst of both these series, injuries have kind of been at the forefront too. I don't know what the fuck is going on in Dallas though, with like the fans tripping Steph and people getting hurt on the sideline. Then there was a story about the benches, how they can't wear white shirts because they blend in with the Warriors uniforms, and like Mark Davis teed up Draymond, then teed up Finney Smith for the same exact shit. Like, and then not only that, but bro, enough with the challenges, enough with the replays about flagrant fouls, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All of this to prolong the fact that the Warriors is going to the championship.
It's really getting annoying with the challenges and shit. And a big part of that is Draymond is always yelling at Steve Kerr to challenge some shit. Luka is always yelling at fucking J Kidd to challenge some shit. It's like, all right, bro, come on. Play ball. Play ball. And it'd be early in the game, too. It'd be like, bro, we 2 minutes into the first quarter, my nigga. Like, this play is not going to have that big an outcome on the game, my nigga. Get it back on defense, bro. Stop it.
Who's going to the finals against the Warriors?
Bro, I can't even tell you, bro. I look, and I say that, and I say that just to say, literally every game of this series has been one team just not showing up altogether.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like it's been like, oh, this super competitive series where like both teams are fighting and it's nailed to, it's down to the wire every fucking game. No, both teams, one of the two teams has not showed up in every game of this series.
Right.
So at this rate, it's a matter of who the fuck just gonna show up 2 out of the 3 games. And honestly, it's probably gonna be Boston because Bam Adebayo is getting paid $180 million to not shoot the ball, apparently.
6 rebounds, 9 points. Come on, bro.
I don't even care. Like, I don't even care about the rebounds as much because it's like, bro, I'm paying you $180 million. It better be 20 points in that bag you got with you because if it ain't, you don't deserve 180.
Yeah, dog. I don't know.
They gave him 180. DeAndre Ayton couldn't get 130. And man, Bam Adebayo got 180 to play defense? 35 a year to play defense? Bruh, come on. Come on, dog.
To be continued on that, man. Warriors got a chance to close it out tomorrow night in Dallas. A dope-ass way to go right into the finals with a sweep, putting everybody on notice. On TNT tomorrow night. Make sure y'all check it out.
Bro.
You think it's
Steph
over with?
smell blood in the water. Steph smell blood in the water. You can tell.
Is he gonna get that new trophy, that Magic Johnson Western Conference Finals MVP?
He better get it.
So you're not giving it to Kuminga? You're not giving it to Jordan Poole or Moses Moody?
Kuminga, hell no. Look, okay, first of all, if they give it to anybody, it's gonna be anybody not named Steph. It's gonna be Wiggins, and it's gonna be another one of them.
Looney.
It's gonna be another one of them Iguodala situations.
Looney.
Nah, Looney played good in 2 games. He played good in 2 games. That's it.
That's how the MVP was won in the regular season, though.
Who?
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Nah, bruh. If they give it to Wiggins, it's gonna be another Iggy situation. Like, congrats, you held Luka to 35 a game, and you dunked on him. But man, Steph over here been otherworldly for these last 4 quarters. Like, what you want?
What's up with the Celtics for real though? Like, Tatum had 10 points through the first half last game, came back with a 30-piece this game. Jaylen Brown has been super consistent the whole time. Like the whole
consistently bad.
You not fucking with him?
Consistently bad. Okay, look, man. The first 2 games he was cool. That last game he was horrible. And then tonight the man was like 5 of like 25.
The Pizza Hut $10.
Man,
he's been awful shooting the ball. And here's the thing, and I say this all the time with Jason Tatum. He'll have one of them games, and then next thing you know, 3 of 14. Here we are. Like, this is the way it goes with Tatum and with Jaylen Brown. And they had been playing so well through these first couple of rounds. They was bound to eventually have games like this because that's just who they are. They're not great jump shooters, but they take a lot of jump shots. So eventually, when the smoke settles and they come back to earth, this is what you're going to get.
The whole team has been inconsistent.
You're going to get the hit or miss.
Al Horford was out. Then he came back. Didn't give you no points. He came back tonight and gave you some real good defensive effort. Marcus Smart gave you some shit. Then he went down. Now he's out.
Yeah, but
game.
they really only matter on the defensive end. Offensively, that's no excuse for Tatum.
What I'm saying is they can't limp it to the finals. Robert Williams is playing every other game. You got Marcus Smart playing every other game. Al Horford playing every other game. And then you giving Jason Tatum hella 5 minutes. Jaylen Brown hella 5 minutes. So it's like, who you going to depend on? Peyton Pritchard? Derek White? After he just had a baby?
I mean, this is the first good game he's had in these playoffs, so maybe it did something to him. I don't know.
Grant Williams gave you the 20-piece to close out what you call, but then that was the last we heard of him for real. He done fouled out every game of the series.
Yeah, he's a hack. I mean, if we just
for sure. I'm glad you said it. 1,000,000%, bro.
He too strong for his own good.
I'm glad you said it. Shit.
He don't be knowing when he be fouling people because he too damn strong.
Talking about Big Baby 2.0, you hear me?
But look, man, for Boston, obviously the defense is gonna be there. It's not the concern with me for Boston. It's the offense. They play way too slow. Yeah. They take way too many jump shots especially 3 specifically, to be a bad 3-point shooting team. Like what Tatum shot, like 35% from 3 in a regular season. I think he's at 37 for the playoffs. Like, I should never see somebody that's below 40% 3-point shooter and half of their shots are threes. Trash. Like there's a difference, and everybody says, oh, well, the 3 is worth more than 2. There's a difference between being, if you're going to be a 30-something% 3-point shooter, there's a difference between being 2 of 6 and 3 of 9. And it may sound small in the grand scheme of things, but 2 of 6 is 4 wasted possessions, and 3 of 9 is 6 wasted possessions. And when you got multiple guys on one team that are like that, now all of a sudden it could be a great game where y'all get hot, but then it could also be a bad game where y'all shoot what y'all normally shoot, which is mid-30s. And now you've got, 20, 30 wasted possessions because you just chuck up threes.
Nasty.
Like that's always kind of been my formula. Anybody that shoots below 40%, I don't want half of their shots being more than threes.
Yeah, this ain't the time to practice. This ain't the time to work on it right now. You out
there for a third of their shots being threes, cool. I can live with that. If it's a good night where everything it just happens to be falling, okay, we can creep up to that 40, 45% of your shots being threes. But if you're not a 40+% 3-point shooter, I don't need you taking that many. Like that's why we let Steph get away with it. And Clay, they're mid 40% 3-point shooters, so they can take half of their shots from 3. That's fine, because the numbers will justify it. But when you, and this has always kind of been the same problem with like a Dame Lillard, right? He's, for the most part, outside of last year. Yeah, I think last year he was like 39% from 3, but most part he's usually like in that 37 range. So it's kind of like him taking that many threes, it's not justified in the grand scheme. And Boston, they get too reliant on it. They got to get to the basket.
Yeah, that's the key to all of their problems right now. They haven't been getting enough free throws. They haven't been putting the Heat in foul trouble like they should. And if they don't do it soon, it's gonna cost them. Speaking of threes, let's talk about the quick hits. Bad weekend for Dirk Nowitzki, bro.
Ooh, my guy, man.
So Luka officially passed him for most playoff 40-point games. Steph passed him for most playoff 30-point games. And Draymond Green passed Dirk Nowitzki for all-time 3-pointers made in the playoffs. Draymond Green, bro.
Well,
Draymond Green, bro.
I don't know why people had. Yeah, I don't know why people had a big misconception that Dirk was a big time volume 3-point shooter. I don't know where that idea even came from.
I can't believe that Draymond passed it. I can see somebody else that takes.
I can believe it because I mean, if Draymond gonna shoot a shot in Golden State, it's normally gonna be a layup or a 3 because he gets left alone out there. But Dirk was never a big 3-point shooter. He had a couple years where maybe he shot like 4 or 5 a game, but like Dirk did his work from like 18 feet in, so that part don't surprise me because Dirk was just never a high volume 3-point shooter like that.
I think
But as far as Steph, I mean that's Steph. I mean, what do you expect? And then as far as Luka, go check the record on what Luka is in them 40-point games and what Dirk record is in 40-point games.
Good point.
I believe Luka is I believe Luka is like 2-6 in 40-point games in the playoffs, and I believe Dirk is like 4-3-ish maybe. So like Luka has a losing record in 40-point games. He's like 2-6, and Dirk has a winning record in 40-point games. So I don't really look too much into it.
Britney Griner, still held prisoner in Russia. News came out this week, real crazy story that Joe Biden was going to try to do something in terms of intervening and trying to see if they could get her home. But Russia's trying to exchange her for, I forget the guy's name. I think it's the Angel of Death was his nickname. He's an arms dealer from back in the day. And they trying to get him out of prison. He's serving 25 to life right now. But they want essentially an exchange of the two, like a prisoner exchange. Like some shit out of a movie. Do that sound right?
No, it doesn't.
That sounds crazy, right?
Bruh. And then they banned a bunch of people from over there. Seeing like Morgan
including
Freeman
Biden,
was one of them.
including Mark Zuckerberg.
Bruh, they banned Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman. The dude is like 80 years old, bro. I don't think he has any interest in going over there. Like, what are we doing?
Dog.
But I did see Britney's, I don't know if it's her wife or her girlfriend or whatever, supposed to be doing like an interview tomorrow. I think with Gayle King, actually.
Word?
Yeah.
On GMA?
I think it's on GMA. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know she's got a like national interview coming up though, so we'll probably be able to figure out some more details about exactly what's going on.
Russia's looking to exchange WNBA star and a prisoner swap from notorious convicted arms trafficker Victor Bout, whose exploits earned him the nickname the Merchant of Death. Flooded fierce conflicts in Africa and the Middle East with weapons, U.S. authorities say. He was arrested during a sting operation in Thailand in 2008, extradited to the U.S. and sentenced to 25 years for conspiracy to kill U.S. citizens, delivery of an anti-aircraft missile, and provided aid to terrorist organizations. And they want us to let this motherfucker go for Britney Griner? Free BG, man, but
I mean, at this point, at this point, I mean, is it really worth holding old boy when we can get her back? I mean,
yeah.
Let's just go get her. Let's just go get her back, man. We deal with it later.
I feel it. Real crazy story about Rajon Rondo came out. Did you get a chance to check this out?
Yeah.
I don't really know what to make of it. Normally you would think that casual fans, if this were football, they would cite CTE, right? But
yeah,
this is like I'm gonna read the story, but y'all gotta bear with me, and it's not for the faint of heart. So just listen with a grain of salt. 36-year-old Ashley Batchelor, Rondo's former partner and mother of his 2 children, filed an emergency protective order in Louisville last week. Batchelor says that Rondo was playing video games with his son on May 11th when Ashley asked her son to separate laundry. Batchelor says Rondo became enraged and ripped the game console out of the wall in front of his child. Ashley says that Rondo continued this destructive behavior, smashing everything from a teacup to the outside lights and then trash cans. He temporarily left the home, according to Ashley, before returning about 15 minutes later, where he allegedly approached the back door and began banging on the window with a gun. Like, what? Yo, is this real, dog? Like, Batchelor said she didn't know what was going on, so she approached the door from the inside to take a look. She allegedly saw Rondo with a weapon and asked him to stop because he was scaring her. She said Rondo didn't listen and instead yelled, "Go get my fucking son." Ashley said she feared if she didn't comply with Rondo, something bad might happen, so she brought their son Pierre Rondo downstairs, but kept the back door closed. The story goes on to say that Rondo allegedly yanked his son, was yelling at his son and daughter in regards to why he felt they were afraid of him, asking them why they're afraid of him, stop being scared of him, things of that nature. Ashley Batchelor says that Rajon Rondo's parents both arrived at the home to de-escalate the situation. Although they didn't have much success in calming down Rondo, she claims he eventually left the scene. I hate hearing shit like this, man. Prayers up to everybody in this situation. I'm sure the league is going to investigate. It's crazy hearing stuff like this, especially about like prominent NBA players. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it. Like Rondo has a flair anyway. He has a bit of a temper. We've seen that just from his play. He's a bit of a mercurial person, not just a player. Like you saw what happened when he was on the Lakers and sat in the stands with the fans, and when he was with Dallas and like him and Rick Carlisle, their dispute was like very public, very nasty. I don't know what to make of this, bro. Like this is terrible news.
It's crazy. God, I mean, I just pray for the safety of everybody.
Word.
Obviously. In terms of like what actually happened, it's hard to say until like the facts come out. Because I think we've kind of seen from, obviously the big one is the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation, but also like the Tyreek Hill situation as well, where it's kind of like I don't want to speak on it before. I don't want to condemn the man without, I don't want to make him guilty until proven innocent, right? I kind of just want to wait until the facts come out. But I mean, like I said, especially the kids, man. I hope the kids are all right more than anything.
1,000,000%. Darvin Ham has emerged as one of the finalists for the Lakers' vacant head coach position. Round of applause for Darvin Ham. Your man said, no, I'm cool. Your man said, no, I'm straight.
I don't blame him.
Juwan Howard said, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm cool. He actually coaching his two sons. I didn't know that. They both play for Michigan.
Yeah, and his son is the one playing Carmelo in LeBron's little biopic movie. So, Jett Howard.
You took the words out of my head. That was going to be my next story. LeBron James is in the works of producing a biopic. I didn't know that was Juwan Howard's son, though. That's lit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Blue Chips, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, pretty much. Because he don't look as much as like Juwan as his older brother does. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not surprised he turned down the Lakers job. Who wants to go and get thrown under the bus when you have a comfy seat already? Like, I can understand if it was like a first-time coach or a coach that was like had a bad last out and in the league, kind of like a Frank Vogel did with Orlando, where you kind of want to take that chance because you're trying to get back into the league. But if you somebody who got a comfy job, I don't see any reason to go risk your entire reputation and go coach LeBron at this point.
It's crazy to even hear that coaching LeBron is like stepping on a what's the shit? The explosive that's under the sand? A minefield? A
landmine? Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, it's ended bad for everybody except Ty Lue.
That's Spo. Barely.
Well, I mean, Spo was already there before LeBron got there, and Pat Riley. And remember, D Wade and LeBron went to Pat after that first year and said they wanted Spo fired. And Pat was like, no, this is your coach. Yeah, and so, I mean, so when you got somebody like a Pat Riley in that spot, I mean, thank God for Pat, right, in that situation. But all these other situations, it never really ends well. And, I mean, Ty Lue got fired after Bron left, and he was able to bounce back on his feet. But, you just go through the list of coaches. It's very difficult.
Well, how you feel about Ham, though? Word around the campfire is they still holding out for Doc Rivers to see what was going to happen over there in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, I like Darvin Ham. Obviously, he's a former Piston, so I know a little bit about him.
Assistant coach for Milwaukee, right?
Milwaukee. Yep. And I mean, apparently, he's by all accounts, he's a leader of men. All the classic quotes they use. Leader of men, great guy to be around. He's a player's coach, but only to an extent. He's kind of a get in your face kind of guy when he needs to be. You've seen him with Bobby Portis during the series earlier a couple weeks ago.
Grabbed him up.
Yeah, so I mean he's respected, and I don't know much about him from what he knows X's and O's wise, but from a leader of men standpoint, strong personalities do not mix with LeBron because the strong personalities always have to cave into LeBron. I don't like it.
We'll keep it locked and see what comes of it, man. Because, like you said, that's the dynamic that kind of shapes the course of success in head coaches when it comes to LeBron. Is how well do they merge with him? Are the personalities gonna clash? Are they gonna gel?
The one thing we know about. Because the one thing we know about Ty Lue is he's known as a player's coach. That was kind of one of the big knocks on him when he got the Clippers job. He's a player's coach.
How do you
it's worked out.
You think Frank Vogel was a player's coach, or was he vocal?
At the beginning, no, but he turned into one.
Got you.
If you watch the progression of Frank as the Lakers coach, he went for because if you remember from Indiana and Orlando, he was a hard ass.
Big defense.
Even
on offense, we playing defense.
Yeah, and he was known as kind of a hard ass, and one of the reasons why things didn't work out in Orlando. And you watch his progression with the Lakers, he really started to lay off a lot and kind of relax, especially when you watch that bubble season. You can see the course of him kind of getting more chill, and I think that was one of the reasons. Obviously, he started giving up some of that control and power to LeBron. And then, last year, he's fighting for his job, obviously. Yeah. Everybody knew he was on the hot seat.
For sure. A couple more quick hits before we get to the rundown. Bud Crawford, Errol Spence finally decided that they wanted to have a conversation about a fight, baby.
I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not getting my hopes up till we see the weigh-ins, till we at weigh-ins at this point.
Bud Crawford came out and said that they decided on Vegas, which is a quote-unquote neutral site. Spence had been pushing for his hometown of Dallas for the longest of time. But he came out and said that they been in talks, preliminary talks, and that Vegas is definitely going to be the move. Maybe 2023 is when we get the fight. And you said you ain't buying none of that shit, huh?
No. We've been at this for like 10 years now, bro. For like 10 years. And like one day is look, man. And I'm going to say it, bro. And look, I'm a Bud guy. And I used to like Spence, right?
Word.
I used to be big fans of both, right? But what happened was Spence started ducking. Bud wasn't ducking because Bud ain't got nothing. Bud has nothing but everything to gain in this situation because he's the smaller star.
Right.
But Arrow had everything to lose because he was the bigger star.
Right.
So he started ducking. Right before, I would say not too long before the car accident happened. And then obviously the car accident was a big step back. And glad he was able to get back. But there's no reason why this fight shouldn't have happened like 5 years ago.
True.
At this point.
Same thing could have been said before Canelo and Triple G finally did their thing.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously Triple G was kind of old at that point too.
But that's my point though. I feel like Canelo kind of stalled him out, a la Floyd and Manny.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? He kind of stalled him out until he knew, like, all right, the leaves are starting to change a little bit on the tree. I can go ahead and get off what I need to get off right now.
And honestly, another thing too is Errol hasn't looked that great since he's been back after the car accident. He's still, he's still getting the job done, but this ain't the same Errol Spence we saw before the car accident. So Errol might have set himself up for failure with this one, where he might have been better off fighting Bud before the accident.
Bud Crawford, just for the sake of credit, he said this to Sean Porter on Sean Porter's podcast. Told him that they were getting ready to make the move to Vegas. So, and this is and Crawford and Porter are pretty good friends, even after fighting.
Yeah.
So there's respect there, but also like.
And I will say to be fair, Bud hasn't looked the greatest in his last two either. So I even though I'm a bigger Bud fan, I will be fair and definitely say Bud has not looked the greatest his last couple either.
Shakur Stevenson is on deck too as well. I think Tank's fight is this weekend. Tank's fight is this weekend, but I saw something that Charlo might want Tank.
Please.
You want that, right?
Let's go.
Fucking with it, right?
Off top, hell yeah.
End of the year, maybe.
Look, man. Whenever if it's gonna happen, let's go. Whenever.
Terry, shout out my dog Terry Roseland. They had a Battle of the Zodiacs over the weekend, but I need him back on when we get to talking the fight game for real. And we need the big homie, man. He been trapped in a sunken place or something. He lost in the multiverse somewhere. We need the big homie to get on here and talk about the fight game, bro.
That man stuck in the lab, bruh.
All right. Peek your head out every now and again. You gotta come up for air sometime.
You know how Iron Man be. You know how Tony Stark be when he trying to invent some shit.
1,000,000%. Last quick hit. Coach Saban, Coach Prime. Deion Sanders wasn't having that shit. He tried to slander my name. He tried to throw salt on my name, bro. We ain't having it. He must have forgot who I was. That's why I went to Florida State, not Alabama. You heard me?
Hey.
Nick Saban came out and said that Jackson State paid Travis Hunter $1 million to come and play at their school. And Coach Prime said, "Nuh-uh, Playboy, we don't have to pay us to play with us because we are us." You dig what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I think that's a classic case of you mad because we doing what you was doing. We winning. Nick Saban didn't have no problems with none of the stuff that was going on over these past 15 years. Him being at Alabama, and now he feel like since the luster starting to wear off a little bit, his assistant coaches are starting to catch up to him and close the gap. He feel like he had to say some shit. And that kind of was out of pocket anyway because it was a straight bullet. It was a side swipe. That was kind of uncalled for.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you got the number 2 recruiting class. You mad you didn't get the number 1 player, so you got sour milk now.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And Deion told everybody, don't let no kid come down here during homecoming. You not getting them back.
You're not getting them back.
Deion told y'all. He said, do not let them come down here for homecoming.
They ain't coming back.
You ain't gonna hear back from him, right? But no, I think Nick is it's the hypocrisy of it. It's not the fact that he's mad about it. It's the hypocrisy of it that gets me because.
But it's the SEC.
It's one of the most well-kept secrets that's what goes on down there, right? And I heard I can't remember who was doing the report, but he said he spoke to another SEC coach or whatever, and he said that the spirit of Bear Bryant is very strong at Texas A&M and Alabama in terms of paying players to come play there.
They said the biggest car lot in the country is the University of Alabama.
Yeah. or what happened with Nick Saban's house, where I guess apparently he had a house, he sold it back, he sold it to Alabama, got paid for it, and now he's leasing the house for like $1. Like, there's little shit that goes on that everybody skips over, and he's a great coach. Like from a on-field X's and O's standpoint, getting the most out of your college player, he is a fantastic coach.
And that comment was above him.
Exactly.
Or beneath him, rather.
Beneath him, yeah. But guys like him, Dabo Sweeney, we all know what goes on. We just don't say nothing. Yeah. But don't be the pot calling the kettle black. Don't be that guy.
Exactly.
Don't be that guy. Like, be mad that you lost out on a recruit. Cool. But your reasoning, don't be mad at that. Bryce Young got $1 million NIL deal before he ever threw a pass in an actual game. Nobody wants to talk about that though, right? Was it $1 million or was it like $3 million? Before, because Mac Jones was the quarterback that year, and then that summer, before the season even started, Bryce Young got like a $3 million or like $1 million NIL deal before he ever threw, or before he even started a game.
They ended up not even playing for us in the next year because of Mac.
So what are we talking about, Nick Saban? Exactly. You're in the middle of Alabama. You're not a travel destination. I get it. You're a great football coach, but you ain't landing all of these top tier prospects like that by just being a great football coach when you're in Alabama. No offense to the state of Alabama, but it's not California. It's not Florida.
He been beefing with a lot of folks. Jimbo came out and said some shit about him.
Well, I mean, that's who the main target was in that whole thing Saban did. It was at Jimbo, and Jimbo was like, "You don't want to go there. I know stuff about you and what you do. You don't want to go there with me."
Hit us in the mailbag. Let us know how y'all feeling about the quick hits, about the week, the playoffs, all of that. The Hitmen Podcast at gmail.com. Check us out on the socials at Hitmen Podcast, at Labeled and Known, at Virtuoso Sports. Rundown. I got my daughter fitted for the summer. She got the whole summer collection. I'm still trying to get my hands on a pair. We're going to talk about it in a second. Let's do it. Check it out. We're recording this Monday night. Coming up on the 24th, Crocs got a pack coming out. White, silver, and lime green colorways. Also on the 24th, Converse Chuck Taylor All-Stars got the Peanuts, Snoopy, Charlie Brown, Woodstock pack coming through. Are the AJ1s, are the Air Jordan 1s the new Chuck Taylors, bro? Can we put it to bed?
They getting there.
They almost there, huh?
They getting there. They ain't crossed over to the Chuck Taylor point yet, where it's in every culture, but they getting there.
Boom, May 27th. Just got through talking about it. The Nike Air Presto Hello Kitty pack. That's what I'm trying to get for the shorty for the podcast, Princess. This is a super dope colorway. More so for the ladies. Really a collection piece if you went to the sneaker mausoleum. Put it in the tombs, but for real, I'm trying to get it for the show. I actually copped a pair, early pair. Shout out to Laced Up. My dog Lano up in New York City held me down the way a real G supposed to. Also on May 27th, if you living under a rock, you really didn't get a chance to see what was up today, but Travis Scott peeked his head from up underneath the sunken place and let y'all know that he coming out with them Air Max 1s that was rumored for a while. The Cactus Jack Saturn Gold and the Cactus Jack Baroque Brown, as well as the Cactus Jack SP Nike Air Trainers. They did a raffle today on sneakers, but the official release is going to be on the 27th. So if you got your credit card, you got your money situated, make sure you keep it locked because this is probably your shoe of the year candidates.
27, a big day, because
Memorial Day weekend and full effect when it comes to
the official wide scale release for them Tunnel Eagles color answers is dropping finally. The big drop, not the small drop for DTLR, but yeah.
About time, we getting right to it. We need Iverson to get on IG to celebrate too. May 28th, the Jordan Retro 5 Green Bean. These ain't been out since 06, but they're coming back in a major way with the revamp. May 30th, you got the ASIC Gel Light 3 Sneaker Politics Always Ready collab. And then on May 31st, Yeezy got some Yeezy slides, the Glow Greens coming out. Next time y'all check back in with us, it's going to be a brand new month. We're going to be halfway through the motherfucking year. This is crazy work. 2022 is almost in the books, bro.
Yeah, dog, we almost there.
Unreal. So you and me been going back and forth. We ain't had no game show this week, so it's going to be a short dog episode, but it's still dope. Shout outs before we get up out of here. Who you going with?
First and foremost, got to shout out my boy Payroll Giovanni.
Yes, sir.
Dropped a new project, man. Back to basics.
That's
my guy.
Hard.
That's my guy right there. And Babyface Ray, who dropped the deluxe version of his album. Gotta show love to my Detroit peoples, obviously. And I'm gonna just give a second shout out to Steph Curry though. It is very difficult to do what he's done in terms of building a culture and building a franchise around a player in the way Golden State has. So, I just want to give Steph that acknowledgement because nobody ever talks about from a cultural standpoint. You know, what Steph is kind of similar to a Tim Duncan.
Word.
So.
An institution for sure, most definitely.
Yeah, so he deserved that love. And last but not least, man, I'm gonna give a shout out to I'm gonna give a shout out to my dog Ben Matherin, man, University of Arizona. I know everybody's sleeping on him for this draft, but that boy a dog. Y'all better be on the lookout.
I was at the combine. I was trying to check out my boy Kofi from U of I. We need him.
That's a big boy.
Some great talent, some great prospects, some great runs I saw over the past week. Shout out to the NBA. Met a lot of dope people, made a lot of dope connections. Can't wait to see everybody again at the draft. It's gonna be a glorious night for some of these young men. I think this is my 4th or 5th draft. It's probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite event of the year to work. Just the excitement.
I'm glad you get to be there and not watch the TV broadcast.
Yeah, it's a lot going on outside of that. After the lottery picks, it can kind of get, I don't want to say boring, but it can kind of drag on and on and on. But there's so much going on in the building. There's so many people that are there. There's so much excitement. If you ever get a chance to, bro, I would say check it out. I would say get some tickets and check it out.
Yeah, because the TV broadcast, every draft pick, they just going to tell you the deepest, darkest, worst thing that's ever happened to them and just skip over the happiness of them getting drafted. So.
Word. It turned into a tier.
NFL do it too. Yeah, bro. Like, it's like every pick. And then you get up there and the reporter, the first thing they ask him, so your dad died when you were 5. How does it feel to get drafted? Bruh, like, can we say hello first before we really get into that? Like, it gets really depressing how they kind of been doing the picks for the NFL and NBA. They be doing the boys dirty.
I'm going to see if I can put a word in with some of the heavy hitters over there and try to change that for you, bro.
Bro, look, and it's not just me that's noticed, but it's like every pick. We just gonna go straight to the trauma, huh? Oh, wow.
I'm gonna see what I can do, dog. I'm gonna make some calls. My shout out for the week goes to Peter Moore. Rest in peace to Peter Moore. I just mentioned the aforementioned Air Jordan 1. Peter Moore was the creator, the original designer. Before Tinker Hatfield, he was the creator of the Air Jordan 1. He was also the creator of the Nike swoosh logo, the infamous swoosh. He passed away earlier this year, so I wanted to shout out to him. Rest in peace to the fallen victims of that crazy shooting up in Buffalo. I hadn't said it over the past couple of weeks. I've been meaning to say it. It definitely didn't slip my mind nor my heart, but I wanted to give it its just due. So rest in peace to those victims. That went in the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? It's getting crazy out here. There was a story that hit out here in Chicago. This young lady was a cashier at a Walmart, and she reported this guy stealing in the store, and the guy threatened to tell her, "I'm gonna come back in here and I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you." He came back the next day and tried to shoot at her, bro, for real. And the lady told the Walmart, like, "Yo, I don't feel safe coming in to work tomorrow. I can't come in." And they told her, "Nah, you got to come in. We short-handed." And they came in and shot at her, bro.
Oh, bro, we had something like that happen when the pandemic started. Somebody ain't had no mask, and their boyfriend came back up to the store and shot up the place, bro.
It's getting
sadness,
crazy,
bro.
It's getting crazy out here, man. Y'all gotta make sure y'all take care of yourselves. Love on one another. Love y'all families. Make sure you keep safe. For real, for real. You never know what somebody's going through, and it can make or break you. It could take you if you ain't too careful. So, make sure y'all, like I said, gather around one another and listen to the podcast. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's a safer bet than anything else. We everywhere that podcast live. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. Destroy, decapitate, explode on that subscribe and that follow. Again, we on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the Anchor sponsor. Make sure y'all hit us up in the mailbag, the Hitmen Podcast at gmail.com. You feel what I'm saying? Check us out on the socials. I'm just hitting buttons before we get up out of here. At Hitmen Podcast, at Labeled and Known, at Virtuoso Sports. Check us out on BlitzSportsNetwork.com. Hit us up on the Discord. And 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. Don't you ever forget this, man.
What happened here was a miracle, and I want you to acknowledge it.
All right, it was a miracle. Can we go now?
We'll catch y'all next week. We out of here. Holla!
Just sucked the gravity out of the target center.